open Tabular Editor. This is a really useful tool to analyze what you did on analysis database. So you will go to File and Open, and from Database. So you will input the local server, and then you will take you to the instance that you have. You might have more. You might have just this one. So this is the analysis database. So click OK, the one that you want to select. So among other things here, among other useful things, there's one thing that is really important for this part of the training. So the last, if you look at the bottom of this page, you will see it says connected successfully, but it will also show you have 5 errors somewhere in the database. So something seems off, right? And by this, you can click on the errors and you can see actually what you did wrong. So let's try that. Okay, expand the screen, just maximize it. Okay, and so can you expand the name as well? Okay, so here you can see, let's focus only on the last line you did, right? The average FOB. Okay, the syntax for line is incorrect.
Okay.
Okay, so that's how you see you've done something wrong. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, and also I'm not sure what's happening with sales among quarter to quarter. This is actually the last. This is quarter to date. This is actually the last feature that we added just recently, and we might have some issues there, but that's okay. This one shouldn't appear. This is on us, okay, as an application. This should be correct because you did nothing wrong here except extend that measure. Okay, but for the average FOB, you see the syntax error here, there, and you just have to figure out what the correct syntax is.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good. Okay, so when try to correct that, and then in the end of the training, you can redeploy and reprocess your project. Actually, let's go into BF Dynamics right now, BF Dynamics application, and let's see where we're at. Yeah. So cannot process a tabular database. Deploy went through, but on the processing side, operation was canceled, and you see that something is wrong on analysis, and that's exactly the DAX measure that we have just checked out.
Okay.
Okay. So you need to repair that. Also, for now, can you just go into Manage Measures once more here, and just remove the quarter to date sales line amount, the last that we have added, on the right side at the bottom. Just remove that one.
Okay.
Yeah. And when it'll go next, and when you will analyze with Tabular Editor again, you should just have the average FOB error there. Okay. When you deploy everything the next time.
Okay. Okay.
Okay. Good. So that's that. I hope everybody saw that. We had some issues here. But we managed to get it through. Maybe you learned something from it. Now maybe let's take a look at Sarab example. So Sarab, if you can share your screen and tell us what you did there.
Yeah, just a second. Okay. Hey, can you hear me?
Yeah, we can.
Okay. So let me just go restart this. So, so I went to this fact GL, like the Qt GL analysis. Okay. I selected the GL transactions and I go to edit. So in the edit, I can see these two tables, the currency and the GL entry linked together. So this is fine. No issues so far. And when I go to the next to select the fields, if you see at the bottom, like I have, so this FA entry type was unselected before. So I clicked it and then I added as a dimension. It was successful. I could also see that. But I came back again. I was just trying to add one more field from here, this FA entry number as an example. And then I went to see the script which was generated before, just to understand what's happening. And I was just also trying to just run a quick query here. So this is coming from the stage GL entry table, right? So I was just trying to find out whether these two fields are there or not. So I could see it gives me an error that the FA entry field is not in the GL entry table. Okay, but when I go to VI4, I still see this table under the GL entry. So this is actually this is coming from a different table. This is an FA entry table from where this is joined. But my confusion was not on the final thing. My confusion was more on this wizard. So why do we see this column here if it is not coming from GL entry table?
Well, let's do an experiment here. Can you connect with Management Studio to your Navision database?
Okay. Yes, it's there already. It's there.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Can you try to find that field in the GL entry table?
Okay. I need to check what the table name is. Just give me a moment.
Yeah, I don't think that will find anything because you have underscores in the table. So let's just remove the filter and manually find it.
That's a lot of table.
Yeah, it's we have time. No worries.
So I think this is the one, right?
Yeah, that was quick, right? Okay, so expand on this table or select all the columns, or just so we can see it, and try to find it here. What was it? FA amount?
FA entry. So.
FA entry. Okay, let's try to find it. You can what you can do here, a little trick. You can FA type and FA number.
Okay.
Okay. So where does the mismatch comes from? Now, this is of course the source table directly on the source, correct? Right. Okay. And you can see the field there because it is on the source and it's also in the metadata table. Okay.
Okay.
Now, if it's in the metadata table, it means that you can see it in the wizard. Now, can you go back to VI4 Dynamics application? Okay, and go on the first screen where the tables are selected.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, what does it says here? So which table is selected as the primary one?
GL entry.
Yeah, but where does it come from?
This is a stage.
Okay, a stage table. So this is a table that is a replica of Navision data, right? Stage table.
Right.
Correct. So in stage table, now switch to Management Studio again, where you have that query when you couldn't find the table. A field. Yeah. Okay. So what happened here? So you were searching for a field that is not yet in the project. Okay.
Okay.
So it is available on the source and it is available for you to select because we get that information from metadata, but it is not yet on the stage. Okay. Just tell me if you understand that, or if I should
Yeah,
go.
I understood. So that was
Okay.
the concern, because when I see stage GL entry table, I thought all the fields are coming from the stage table itself.
Well, it's something that you were. It's something that you will build. It's not something that is already there. Yes, you will add it to the stage table as a consequence, but it's not
Right.
there yet. So
Right.
this comes from the source. That's why you couldn't find it. Now, everybody else, did you understand that? Alex, Rakesh?
Yep.
Okay. So this is your potential fields to be selected in the project. It's not yet there. So it's a legitimate question. It might be confusing, right? And it's a good question to ask here. So that's why you couldn't find it here. Okay.
Yeah,
So
understood.
we got that covered. So if that was the only issue, maybe we can go next.
Okay. Yeah, I didn't do anything after that. I was just, so I still have to try out these options, like adding dimensions here and getting the cube created.
Okay, that's fine. You know, we went through this with Rakesh, no problem. So you'll know what to do here. But yeah, like I said, a good question. So yeah, this is the all the potential fields that could be selected in the project, but they're not there yet. This will be, they will come after you deploy and process.
Yeah, I saw that. So when I processed it last time, that FA entry type column got added to the stage table. So yeah, I understand that cycle now.
Okay, perfect.
Perfect. Yeah.
Jan, you had a question?
Yeah, if I may ask, that what you were just explaining is basically the difference between extract, transform, and load, and extract, load, and transform, right? Because we extract, transform, and then load, not first extract, load, and it transform after.
Yeah, so it's all in the one process. So when you do deploy and when you process, of course, first you do extract and then you transfer and then you load, right? The ETO process. Now, this is the process that we do on the process data, of course, but everything that you will need to process needs to be defined as a set of rules, right, for the application to know what to do in the wizard. Okay, so yeah, that is true. You don't first extract everything, right? But you tell the application what to extract and then transfer and then load.
Okay.
Yeah. Good. So I think that was it. So if you haven't done anything after that, let's look at another example. Alex, I guess you've been doing some work on this as well.
Yeah. So
Okay. Can you share your screen so we can see?
I think you should see now. Yeah, so I was trying yesterday to create a table with the dates and inventories that I explained to you.
Okay, let's go from the beginning so everybody will know what you did here.
So, basically, what I have succeeded to do is only to add the measure.
Okay, sorry, can you go step by step on what you did?
Right.
Just take us through what you did. So manage cubes and then tell us which fact or which module did you create, and we'll go step after step.
Yeah, sure.
Okay, I see the okay, one other thing, you can see the Alex's application is kind of slow at the moment. Okay, so it was not responding. It is slow to respond. When you do things in BF Dynamics, of course we have a limited capacity of memory available, and everything you do is stored in the memory. So if it becomes really slow and unresponsive, just close the application and start over. Of course you can save your work with the save button there, but then you close the application, open the instance once more, and then you'll be back to normal. just a observation here, and I guess it will be useful for everybody else as well. Okay, guide us through what you did, please.
Yeah, so what I wanted to calculate, my final goal was we can basically calculate the average price as amount of invoice divided by the quantity of goods. And what I wanted to do is basically to calculate the inverse, that is to divide the quantity by the amount of dollars, so that we could kind of get what share of a product we can buy for $1. To do that, I have selected Cube's sales analysis and fact table item. I also wanted to calculate the average amount for each customer. So I have also selected the customer, stage customer, and connected it with the invoice table using the code key sales invoice line.
Okay.
Let me see. I connected the customer.
That's okay. Just continue, and we'll go through the steps again when you show us what you did.
Then when it comes to fields, I don't think I made any changes here. Yeah, I think I added the customer location code. Then when it comes to manage dimensions, what I wanted to do here is to edit my dimension. So I have the names of the customer, and I wanted to add some string to the end of each name of the customer. But I was not sure how to do that.
Okay, let's leave the dimensions for now. Let's go to measures. Let's see what you did there.
All right. Probably not gonna restart it right now, right?
Yeah, I mean, let's leave with this. Maybe you can restart it later, or if this takes a while, then you'll just restart it.
Yeah, so I basically called this measure the my cost, and I have defined DAX expression as...
Okay, hold on. Did you do any new measures on the base measure and data warehouse measures first?
No, I think net sales were already there, and I just coded this my cost this way.
Okay.
Basically,
where did you get the sales invoiced quantity from?
Yeah, so I get now the problem here. In the table stage sales invoice line, there are columns.
So let me help you out a bit there. So you used a so if you go back to BF Dynamics, you used a DAX expression, right? Which means that every measure that you used already exists in BF Dynamics, right? Okay, so you can just search for it as well. So sales invoice quantity, if you're not sure where it comes from, there is a search bar right beneath the base data warehouse and DAX measures. So you can see where it comes from, right? If it's a DAX, you just use the search bar. Okay, so it's already a DAX. Good, so what you did here is used a existing DAX measure, right? And then you divided it with the base measure or data warehouse measure, I think.
Yeah, possibly another measure also exists in the DAX.
Okay, can you? Yeah, let's see if it's in DAX. That's okay, no problem. Okay, so let's just close the application and let's reopen it because we'll be on your case for a while now. Okay.
Right. Should I save anything now?
You can go next and save. So just go next and save your progress, and then you will close the application and select yes. So I want to save the instance. Good. And now you will open the application again. Okay. Yeah, this is just click slowly, right? Because it's, yeah, we have to see what you actually click. Sometimes the screen doesn't refresh right away, so just tell us what you click.
Do I go to the last step right away?
We'll go from the start, okay?
All right.
So just go to the select source tables. Okay, good. So another, so the same issue as we had with Rakesh, I think, is that you have selected a dimension table. Okay. So here again, we will see a duplication of data that you already have on other tables. In this case, stage customer. Okay, you have selected the right table. Going from stage, not from dimension, so that is absolutely okay. But in this part, we are selecting transactional tables, okay? So just the tables that have transactional value. Now, don't get confused because we have dimension date table here and help currency here. This is a special example because the sales is probably the most complicated module, and we needed to use that for some special cases, okay? So don't be misguided by us using a dimension table here. Now you have added a stage table, which is correct. And in terms of that you select the stage table, not the dimension or anything else. But you have selected a master table, so a dimension table, right? And we already have that information in customer dimension, right? So you want to, again, avoid that. Avoid duplicating the data on the data warehouse. We have that information on dimension table already. We don't need it here. We just need to connect the two tables together. Okay. So that's just an observation here. I know the majority of your work came from manage measures then. So what we can do now is just, because I see you didn't use the any fields from customer stage customer table later on. I think it was just location code, if I'm not mistaken, on the select field on the next screen.
Yeah, I have the this country city customer, but
okay, can you go next and just see
right.
which fields that you have selected from the customer table here?
Yeah, this one, location code and factory city.
No, the factor comes from currency, so that was already selected. You only selected the location go. Now, this is not something that you would do per se. Like I said, we had, if you want to add additional information to the customer table, you would add it a dimension, right? You would not add it to fact. Okay, do you understand that? And mostly why do we do that? If it's a no?
Yeah.
Okay, okay, you understand. Good. So again, you don't want to duplicate data. You don't need to have the location code here in the customer because we already have it on the customer side, on the customer dimension. But if it's not there, you can add it on the dimension part, not in transactional table. Okay. That being said, you can go one step back and deselect the customer table here, so we won't have that inside. Okay. And go next. And now selected fields are the one probably that were there by default in the project already. I'm asking here.
Yeah,
so,
yeah.
Okay, so default. So it's still like it was at the beginning of project. You have added a customer dimension, customer stage table, which we have now deselected, so we can go next on the manage dimensions. Okay, and you can already see the customer dimension is selected here on the right side, right? Build to customer and sell to customer, correct?
Yes.
Yes. So you don't want to you don't want to bring another customer dimension inside because you already have it here. Okay. So we'll add the location code if it's not there on the dimension side. We'll do that just as we go through the manage measures once more. So everything here, you didn't add any more dimensions here, right?
No, I think that's it.
I think that's pretty much the standard project from what I see. Good. So let's take a look at measures.
And for measures, I want to have this DAX and that's it.
Okay. For the DAX measure, my cost, and that is a so sales invoiced quantity. So quantity divided by net sales. Okay. What's the kind of result that you have expected from this?
Well, it actually worked.
Yeah.
You mean what is the meaning of the measure, or?
Yeah. Just tell us what you meant to achieve here again.
Yeah. For example, I don't know, if we buy some liquids and we bought, I don't know, 20 tons for $1,000, we would be able to calculate the price per liter. Something
Okay.
like that.
Yeah, that's good. That's perfect. Can you show us how it works in Excel, maybe?
Something like that. And my cost is basically the quantity divided by the amount of invoice.
Oh, that's good. That's perfect. In terms of what you did in BF Dynamics, that you created a new dimension, we're trying to achieve a specific goal, and you have done so. It's not a problem. Now, what I'll tell you now is it's probably something that you didn't know before. So you have this my cost. Okay, so you don't have any actual items here, right? I mean, you have so what this table actually means here, you have country, city, and customer, and then you have my cost. So you're actually calculating an average cost for an item for a customer. So that could be correct if one customer will only buy one particular item, right?
Yeah, I understand. It's completely meaningless. It was just for the sake of the exercise.
Okay, perfect. So if you understand that, that's okay, and I'm just explaining for everybody else as well. So what you want to add here is an item. Let's add an item dimension to this table. So let's see what we have.
I just want to make a note here. After I have completed this all these steps with the manage measures, I tried to update the cube.
Yep.
And previously it worked, and as a result of that, I'm now able to show you the table. But now it stopped working, so I'm not sure if
what do you mean stop working? Can you just go into BF Dynamics app and press update again? So let's see where it stops.
While it updates the note here, I understand that items are different for each customer. It was more
I understand
for the sake
that.
of, if we would buy, let's say, petrol or something like that.
Yeah, that's understandable. No problem. So yeah, let's maybe add an item to this. Let's see what you did. like I said, really good job, excellent. So you actually you envisioned what you want to achieve, and you know how to achieve it, right? And then you created a measure out of this, and that's it, right? Okay. So yeah, this is something that I was afraid of, right? So you can see here. So maybe filter out just one customer. Can you scroll down a bit? Let's see a customer that has not that many items. Yeah, scroll down for a bit. Even more. So every customer has this kind of items. Yeah, that's fine. So when you come to the next customer, so the Canon 1000, so Canon group POC.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, you see it? Can you right click on it? And go to filter. Sorry, my screen is catching up, and keep only selected items. Okay, now we're going into Excel territory a little bit, you know, to see how the reports work. Okay. So what can you tell us from this, from my cost numbers here? Do you see any abnormalities?
Well, I guess my guess would be that the issue here is that there is no relation between the between the item and the customer.
Yeah, exactly. Not the customer, but the measures that you have done, right? So you have the this. It doesn't. So what you want to do in order for you know, Yaka can maybe confirm this because he's more proficient than I am. So if you want this measure to work, you would need to add some filters to DAX, so it will actually work through the items. So anybody of you who has more experience in this than I do can confirm or not confirm this.
I think in this case, it is not completed.
Okay, it's not completed. So talking about the error here, the whole update process it's really a demanding operation, and sometimes it happens that if you will get a strange error, it will not exactly say timeout or anything like that. It will just say you know, operation unsuccessful or something like that. Sometimes it happens that it doesn't go through, but then you just click it again, and it will go through the next time for sure. Now, if there is an error of, you know, with the content, it will actually say what the issue is. But if you get a strange error, just, you know, something that is not definable, just try to click it again and it will probably work the second time around.
I think it should be something like that for us to get the correct answers.
Yeah, probably, right? So you will go into the content side of things with Mladen, where you can show this example again. I'm here more on the technical perspective. So everything you did is correct, besides the actual content of it, right? But technically speaking, this was okay. Now, I wanted to. Okay, so let's close this.
Stop presenting.
No, let's just close the manage cubes or create cube tab, and we will go to manage dimensions. Okay, I still owe you to show where the location code is added. So if you go to the customer dimension and click edit, customer, you can also search for it, but otherwise it's listed alphabetically. Okay, edit dimension, or you can use the you know, the navigation bar on the left side. Okay, when you go next, so selecting the fields, so you search for location code here. Not on all the fields. Okay.
Next.
Okay, you're probably too quick because you saw the screen. Everybody else just saw when you type location and just then selected it. At least I did. But yeah, this was unselected before, right?
Mhm.
Yeah, confirm if it was unselected or not.
It was not selected before.
Okay, it was not selected. So if you want the location code for the customer, you would come here, select it, and go next. And this is the same exercise we did 2 days ago. So that's it. And you would say, okay, so this is when you see the location on the left side, it's probably all the way on the bottom. Okay, you will see a location code. Now you can add to this its customer location code, so you know exactly that this is a customer location, and that's it. Good. You will go next. You would update now, and this will work. But before we do that, yeah, that's fine. Let's go next. Before we go any further, you will go to item dimension. It's in the bottom of the screen, or you can search for it. Yeah, item, edit. Okay, then you will go next. Now, this is something that you couldn't know because you don't know Navision, right? So this is for the rest of the guys here who will deal with content that needs to know that will tell you, okay, we need a property of an item, okay? We need a property of an item, and that property will be, if you see right in the middle, it says unit price, okay? Unit price, and that already achieves what you were trying to achieve the hard way. Okay, you were trying to calculate that unit price from from the net sales and then divided by the quantity, or the other way around, and that of course it's again okay, but for every okay, this is generally speaking, right? For every normal demand that the customer might have, I'm pretty sure a field already exists in Navision that does exactly that. Now, that's not a, that's not written in stone. It's not always the case, but with this kind of cases, that it's really logical that you would already have that information in your ERP system in Navision. That's already there, and we have it on the item unit price. Okay, so we see it's already selected. We can go next on the next screen and check the attribute, how it's actually named. Okay, it's just a unit price. Okay, we can see that. Now go again to your Excel table. And let's actually remove your my cost measure. Okay, and go to, oh, you're already at the item. That's good.
Unit price?
No. You're in the item dimension. You're already there. So that's it.
Yeah, but we need to add
No. Yeah.
measure.
If you see in the background, item is already selected. Right?
Yes, but we need the measure.
Hold on. Item
Alright.
is item is already selected. And click more fields here on the right side, where you have the item dimension. You have item hierarchies, and then you have more fields. Okay, and get the unit price. Item unit price. Okay, and yeah, that's it. So you already have that information. Now, yeah, do not show subtotals. Perfect. So you already know this stuff. Perfect. Good. So now you can see the unit price for this exact item. Okay. Can you now add the net sales measure? So you will search for sales values here, because we're in sales. So sales values. Okay, and you will add net sales, but you will also add a sales invoiced quantity. This is strange. Can you just unselect the customer, the country city customer here, please, and just go to customer dimension, bill to, or sell to customer, bill to customer. Okay, and just use a just the customer. More fields. Now I'm trying to figure out why is this not connected. So what did we do wrong here? Okay, that's good. That's okay. Now we have net sales. That is okay. Can you move the customer to up? So in the rows section, you have customer, and then you just drag and drop it all the way up.
To columns or filters?
No. On the rows, but above items. Okay. So now you'll have a customer. You'll have a item, and you won't have net sales, which is strange. Okay, I'm not sure what we did here. Let me just redesign this on my end. Let's see what you... I'm not sure what you did wrong here. Just be a moment. Probably nothing much. Probably just something that we don't have time to discover now, but it's probably nothing. So don't worry about it. It's better when you see something like this, something logical that it should work, and it's probably something that is not really.
You know what? It's
Just hold on. I'm trying to build the same thing on my end. Okay, I have customers. I will have item. Just a second. Item. Okay, it works for me. Let me see what you did wrong here. Can you go back to PF Dynamics application where you were on the, when you did all the work, so in the sales. So we will go into manage model. Okay, and go to manage dimensions.
again?
No. Manage dimensions here on the fact. Sorry, on the fourth step of this. No. Yeah. Okay. Sorry, the screen is a little bit lagging for me. Let me just wait. Okay. Okay, and go to custom. From related table. Okay. So what happened there? So I said this should be working, right? But we can see now that item. This was probably a part of yesterday's exercise. It is not selected on the right side. Right? There's no item dimension there.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Instead, I see it up there. And probably when you deselected it, you forgot to add it again to the right-hand side, to the select dimension. Okay. So in fact, what you had there is you were using an item, so it's still in the project because it is used on some other facts. But in this particular fact, when you had net sales, it was actually not selected to the not connected to the fact table, and that's why you got all the same numbers. Correct?
Mm-hmm.
So this is something that I showed yesterday. Okay, so if you go next and try to update that fact, yeah, this will work. Good. But in the meantime, I will just switch this screen to my end. And I've also tried to recreate what Alex did here. Okay, so we have a customer. We have a item, we have a unit price for a specific item, and then we have net sales, and we'll use the sales invoice quantity. Okay, good. So we have the quantity, we have the net sales, and this is the part that you are trying to divide, right? You actually, you try to divide the net sales by a sales invoice quantity. Mm-hmm. I think you did it the other way around. I think you did sales invoice quantity divided by net sales, and then you had 0.000 something, right? Because this is not correct. You first do the net sales, and then you do the invoice quantity. So net sales divided by sales invoice quantity. Okay. And like I said, we already have that information, item unit price over here. Okay, what's the time? 11:11. Let's take a, or maybe I'll show this because this is important. Let's stick through this for another 5 minutes, and we'll see what we have. Okay, so what I will do here a manual calculation. I will do the same thing that you have done in DAX, right? Just the other way around, so the correct way. I will use the net sales. So I will use, okay, let's start here. I will use what? C2, right? Divided with, no, sorry, D2. That was my bad, my mistake. So we have net sales, D2 divided with E2. Okay, like this. Okay, and let's scroll down a bit. Let's apply this formula to everything. Okay, let's make it a little bit easier on the eye. We'll format the cells to have a number with 2 decimal places. So we'll have the same as item unit price. Okay. Okay, so this is actually what we're trying to achieve. Okay, this is the same number. Okay, and this is the same number. But the next number is not okay. So why is that? Does any of you have any idea why this number does not equal this number?
There can be discount.
Discount, that's a nice guess, yeah. And you're heading in the right direction. Any more ideas?
Maybe because it's due to accounting method?
Sort of. Yeah, that's another nice guess. So let's combine those two answers, right? It's kind of a discount and accounting method. Yeah, and I'll tell you what the answer is here. So item unit price. Where did we get that information from? So we got it from item dimension. And let me ask you this. Are there any transactions stored in this stage table? So do we have any documents in this stage table, the item table? To tell you the answer is no here. Okay, we don't have any transactions here. What we instead have is a properties of an item. Let me explain. So a property of an item is gross weight. So it is its property. So the gross weight for 1 liter of water or the net weight, doesn't matter. Okay, net weight is 1 kilogram. Okay, and also I would say in the item, like the unit price. Okay, so I would say 1 liter of water is 10 euros. Okay, this is in the item table, but that is not the same. Okay, you might not sell a liter of water for 10 euros. You might sell it for more, or you might sell it for for less. So that's when the answer kind of a discount comes from. You would sell a liter of water to a different customers at different price. They would have some discounts, they would have some other things, so you would sell it for less. And this is exactly what we see here. So as unit price, right, this is an attribute of an item. We have decided that it is actually, okay, to give you a concrete example here. So this particular whiteboard, yellow, so the unit price for that item is this amount. So 974 euros in this case, or dollars, doesn't matter. Okay, but when we calculate net sales divided 2, we actually see on average, we have sold this particular item to this particular customer for less. So again, this is the item property. And this is what we actually did in the transactions. So this is invoices. Okay, what I'll do here is I'll do this. Sorry. I'll do another sheet here and I will filter this out. Keep only selected items. Okay, let's get rid of everything else here. Okay, now we focus on this particular product for this particular customer, right? And what we want to do here is add a dimension. Like I said, the lowest granularity that we have is a document. Yeah, I already have this. I would just copy this a little bit or insert a few rows. Like this. Okay. Good. And now I will add a document. Okay, so it was a sales invoice. Let me just do this, and it was posted in January 2021, 22. Sorry, and this is the document number. Now, okay, this is no longer valid because this is now this is now G2, and this is now H2. Okay. So in this particular document, it's a shame we don't have, we don't have more documents here. Okay. But if we would have more, we could have seen that for different customers. Actually, let's do something. Let's do something else. But you already see what I'm heading with this. I hope. Filter, clear the filter. We'll do it the other way around. Bear with me. I'm getting to a point. We'll just look at this particular item instead of the customer. So we'll go with Calgary whiteboard. Where is it? Calgary whiteboard. We'll filter this one out. Keep only selected items. Okay, again, it's a shame. Okay, don't worry. I'll find an example. Don't worry. Yeah, this one was sold to different customers, and also this one was sold to this different customer. Keep only selected. Okay, now we're looking at item, which we have sold to different customers, right? Hold on, let me expand this one. Oh, yeah, perfect example. Okay, so again, to tell you the whole story. So this is a property of an item. So someone said, so we should sell this item for that much. And this is a property of an item. But then in reality, when we look at transactional data, we see that this particular item for this particular customer, we sold it for less, correct? Maybe because they bought 10 pieces, we have given some discount per, per this suggested price, that it is going to be 230. Now, for the next customer, we have followed our guidelines. There were no discounts here, and we have 2 invoices. And for this customer, we said, we use the same price. And then for the next customer, okay, again, we had some discounts. And then for the next customer, again, we even sold it at the lesser price than this one. Okay. Now, tell me if you understood that. Please. Maybe I overcomplicated it, but just tell me if you got this correct.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So this was well. Thank you, Alex, to guide me into discovering this, and this is a perfect example of what could happen, even though. Alex had the right idea to calculate this, right? I said we already had that information, which is item unit price, but that, just to sum things up, is not always correct and in line with what we see in transactional data. And when you show this to the customer, right, it's a really nice representation on how they are doing business. Now, this is the demo data, so it's not really representable. We also see some quantities here that are, in decimal places, which doesn't make any sense because this is what door or storage unit or whatever this is. But when you check this with the customer, it will make sense. So their suggested price is this one, and then on transactional data, because this is a hotel and they are buying a bunch of doors for us every year, we have given them more discount on the base price. right? Okay, and that's it. So to some, just to take this a little bit further, we also have a field which is called a sales discount amount. Maybe we can add that and see what we have. Yeah, and that's probably exactly that. So, so Surab, I think you were spot on in your assumptions. So there were some sales discount on the transactional on this side. On this two, where we see the same exact price, there weren't any discounts. So in this case, yeah, it was the discount fault. Not the fault, but just the reason for the information we're seeing right here. Good. Everybody happy?
May I ask what could be the accounting method, or basically the other thing that you mentioned?
Well, it's kind of accounting method, right? It's somehow how we look at things, right? It's not the accounting issue per se. I just wanted to mention that it could be the case, but it's not in this case. It's not really accounting, but it's how we look at things. That's why I said kind of, right? Just kind of.
So it couldn't be. So it couldn't happen due to this FIFO-LIFO average.
No. It couldn't come from that. Also, the same story could be we could do for for the costs. Let me just show you this. So item unit cost. Okay, item unit cost. Let's put it here. So, this is the item unit cost, which is supposed to be. And then if you go to the measure and you say sales, so the cost, cost. Okay, then you would have to divide it. Never mind. Okay, so forget that I went into that. It's too deep for now. Remove. That's it for now. Okay, I'll speak with Jan on this matter, but everybody else kind of got it. Okay, probably, hopefully. Yeah, everybody okay?
Yep.
Rakesh, Surab? Yaka, you understand this? Of course you do. Luca?
Yes.
He's just saying yes because he wants a break. So let's take a break and we'll be back in 11:40. So 15 minutes break.
Okay.
Okay, thanks. So Jaka pointed out a thing I said in the training here, that the document is a lower granularity that we can have. It's actually the lowest granularity is the line of the document. So not the document itself, but the line of the document. Okay, just to correct things and put it in perspective. Let me just see. Documents. Document type, document number. So it's the line of the document.